Hello, I'm an actor. My name's Ian McKellen. All right, ready? Ask me anything. Anything at all. Patrick and I have known each other since we worked for the Royal Shakespeare Company in the 1970s. I was the man who advised him not to do Star Trek. We've recently become friends through the X-Men, and then we did 2 plays together on Broadway last year. And I married him to his lady, Sunny. So all in all, our careers and our friendship have intertwined very pleasantly. And we live very close to each other on the banks of the River Thames in London. Not really. There's no money involved. You get a medal, and a lot of respect, I suppose. The one slight problem is that sometimes the title gets in the way, particularly backstage or on set. Right, I'll give you the recipe. You slice potatoes thinly, slice onions thinly, you grate some strong cheddar cheese, you slice some small tomatoes, and you layer those ingredients and put them in a medium oven for 1 hour. And to make sure it's as delicious as it always is, pour a little single cream over the potatoes, which should be the top layer. Very comforting. Quite nutritious. Easy to make. Well, good question. I would request that wherever possible, the actors should be in the same space whilst they were being filmed and able to look at each other. The fact is, I was never allowed to look Elijah Wood in the eyes, nor Martin Freeman, in order to create the illusion of different heights. Not easy. It's not a rumor, it's true. He told me at our first meeting that he'd always thought he would be good casting as Gandalf. It turned out that he was better casting as the other wizard, Saruman. Well, of all the parts he played, I suppose one I've always rather hankered after was to play Sherlock Holmes. I'm sorry that he won't be able to see Mr. Holmes, the movie. I think he would have enjoyed it. The scenery that was built in the studio was sensational, and I think my favorite set, which I didn't act in, was the Golden Lair, where the dragon was hiding. Hundreds of thousands of specially made golden coins. And if you don't tell anybody, I'll let you know that I have a few of those coins at home, along with the front door key to Bag End, which I know Peter Jackson is looking for, but will never find. Well, I would never fight a hobbit, whatever his size. So I'd have to go for the first. What is it? Hobbit-sized Balrog?
100 of them.
100 of them? No, easy. Yeah. Number 1. planned to meet each year once filming was complete, but so far we never have. Unless, of course, the other 8 are meeting without letting me know. I am vegetarian, so lots of cheese and lots of tomato and lots of basil, and only thin crust. A dog, preferably a boxer, preferably a bitch, preferably one who would outlive me. Bryan Singer, the director of X-Men, persuaded me that the story of the mutants was a metaphor for the story of anyone in society who is rejected by the majority. And so, as a gay man, I could see it was relevant to me. And I hope the films, like the comics, have given some comfort to one who society disapproves of. Social change usually happens slowly. The Supreme Court decision comes at the end of the process of argument and confirms the change that has already happened. I'm just sorry that there are still people in the USA who are not yet ready to accept that the law should treat everybody the same. But they too will change. Changing the law is relatively easy. It's just a question of making the case. But we're still left with the problem of changing people's hearts and minds, and that will take much longer. If you choose to be generous, you should look to the plight of LGBT people in countries where the laws are stacked against them. So be careful where you go for your vacation. Always check on the local laws if you want to be safe. No, I have not talked to Michael about Macbeth, and don't expect to. He's giving his own performance, and I think it might well be confusing for me to start telling him about mine. If he wants to see it, of course. I had Judi Dench as my Lady Macbeth. That's readily available on DVD. But no, you don't want to be bothered with what somebody else did. You want to do your own performance. No, Macbeth, Shout It Loudly, was a lucky play for me. But I am careful not to mention the play or quote it in the dressing room, as other actors can get nervous. My Holmes is different from all the rest in that he's so old, and that he was a real man, and that the Holmes that everybody thinks they know through the Dr. Watson versions is incorrect. So it's a mystery to discover what Mr. Holmes is really like. I loved playing the part. Happy birthday. I did read one of the Sherlock Holmes books, and I've forgotten the title. But it was alarming to discover that for half the novel, the action took place not in Victorian London, but in the United States of America, and that Sherlock Holmes was nowhere to be seen or heard. So things aren't always as we remember them. Valley of Fear is the title of the book. Perhaps Antonio in The Merchant of Venice, because he is one of the very few obviously gay characters in Shakespeare. Well, thank you to everybody who sent a question, and sorry not to answer them all. However, I suspect you could find answers ready-made on my website, where I've been blogging and writing and answering previous queries for 15 years now. www.McKellen, McKellen.com, C-O-M. And when we were doing Lord of the Rings in 2000, I sent regular messages from the set. I invented blogging. It's just that I didn't invent the word. In the meantime, Mr. Holmes may be the movie for you. If you've ever liked Sherlock Holmes, it's a must. If you've ever liked Laura Linney, it's a must. And if you ever like movies of Bill Condon, it's a must.